Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I'm in. Tori just won't let it go. No.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, April 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon, and I am Sam. Let's get started, shall we? New details right now in the college admissions scandal. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband are facing a minimum of 2 years in prison. That's according to TMZ. They were reportedly offered a plea deal for allegedly paying $500,000 to pass their daughters off as athletic recruits at USC. But that plea deal from federal prosecutors came with a minimum of 2 years in prison. And check out this new photo of Felicity Huffman's husband, actor William H. Macy. This is the first photo since his wife announced she will plead guilty in the college scandal. He was photographed in an LA parking garage before he got on his motorcycle and took off. Meantime, we are also learning that Felicity could serve time in prison, and if federal prosecutors get their way, she could be facing 4 to 10 months behind bars. Many of you have an opinion on this, as we do, clearly. Do you think that this is appropriate amount of time? What do you think the fallout will be once they come out of prison?
Right. Well, so we now know there's a little bit of some breaking news. So Netflix has just said we're shelving a Felicity Huffman project.
So there is fallout.
There is fallout called Otherhood, and it's with Patricia Arquette and Angela Bassett. So that's a big drop. However, they're keeping her in for the miniseries When They See Us about the Central Park 5. So it's sort of a half in, half out with Netflix. I think you're going to see Lori Loughlin get some jail time. I don't think it's going to be as much as people want. The judges have a wide range here that they can go. It might be supervised probation. Remember, this isn't a violent crime. They have no past criminal problems. I know they want to make an effort. I know that. But I'm just setting up your expectations.
Yeah.
I don't think. I know.
It's not violent crime. But what about all the other people that are in prison for less crime?
For possession of weed, you know, some people that are sitting there for over a year for a small bag of weed or something. But this is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for. The rich are getting richer by scheming the system. And then you want poor people, you want black people, you want people who don't come from means to trust the system, that sort of thing. And it's just not fair. Nipsey Hussle come from gang neighborhood, come from violence, but still rose through the ashes and became a successful rapper and a successful entrepreneur. Someone has made it with less, so a judge needs to go ahead and show these people that you cannot scheme the system anymore.
I agree. Throw the book at them. What do you think?
I hope that Lori is made more of an example of, because I think her whole attitude towards this has been very light-hearted. She seems to not take it very seriously. She was out signing autographs just before she was going to go into court. I just think it's a bit crazy.
I think that's her only part she knows how to play. It's wholesome.
It's unfortunate because it looks like that she's living in a bubble. I already am rooting for Felicity Huffman.
Right.
I already want to see Netflix take up her series because I see someone that has acknowledged her mistakes and wants to be a better person. I do not see that from Lori Loughlin, unfortunately.
You know what I see?
What?
Someone who knows something we don't know. Because you can't beat this off of yoga and faith. She knows something we don't know.
Which is what exactly she said. I'm going to bait this with yoga. I mean, even that statement in itself is a slap in the face.
I agree.
But they have her on, just so you know, emails and lliterally her recording on tape. So it's not an easy thing to just get off of.
All right. Well, we'll see how they handle it.
That's a strong downward dog.
It is. And I do think how they handle it will determine their future success.
100% agree.
So we will wait and see.
Great point.
We have to give a big DBL shout out to Virginia. They won the men's NCAA Championship last night against Texas Tech, 85-77. It was an incredible game that went to overtime, and it's a true story of redemption. As last year, Virginia was the first team ever to lose as a #1 seed to a 16th seed team in the first round. But now look at them. I love this. I was watching it in overtime, and I was like, oh my gosh! And everybody was on pins and needles. But it's nice to see that they obviously, Brandon, last year felt so defeated that they had to prove something this year.
Absolutely. And I come from Charlottesville. I went to Albemarle High School in Charlottesville. My dad was the first black football coach in UVA history. My uncle played there, won an ACC championship there for football. My sister played basketball there. But I'm a big UVA basketball hater. But you know what? I'm going to look into the camera. Tony Bennett, Wahoo Wah Nation, congratulations. You guys deserve it.
Congrats.
Absolutely deserve it.
Congrats.
Yes. And a big up to Patty, who won the bracket.
Yeah, Patty. Patty's our senior producer.
Right.
Yes, Tori's not just pointing to some ghost back there.
No, Patty. I can see her.
All right, well, big news today on the release of Robert Mueller's report. So let's get to Kelly Schubert. She has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Right now, Attorney General William Barr is testifying before Congress for the first time since the Mueller report was finished. During the hearing, Barr said the process of redacting Mueller's report is going well and that he expects to release the report within the next week. Things that would be redacted include grand jury information, information that would reveal intelligence sources and methods, parts of the report that could interfere with ongoing prosecution, and information that implicates the privacy of, quote, peripheral players. And Sam, it's a waiting game for now, but I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a pretty redacted report. I think we're going to get it.
Are we going to learn anything from the redacted report?
I think we're going to get. I think we're going to get some information, and I think the Democrats have to keep, if they want to, keep that pressure on and keep pushing subpoena, subpoena, subpoena.
All right, we will wait and see. Thank you, Tori. You will remember this next viral video. That's right. It was on this day 2 years ago when a Kentucky doctor was violently dragged off a United Airlines flight. The flight was overbooked, and he was asked to deplane, but he refused because he felt he was being discriminated against. And now that man is speaking out for the first time. This is Dr. Dow, who was originally from Vietnam. He was on his way to open a clinic, get this, for U.S. veterans when all of this happened. Here's what he says about that day.
I just cried.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
I don't know, I just cried. The most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
You forgiven?
Yes.
Wow. Unbelievable. The doctor and United Airlines reached an undisclosed settlement over the incident. However, the amount is not public. Also, United changed their policy as a result of the incident and said in a statement that, quote, the changes we have implemented since that incident better serve our customers and further empower our employees. What an incredible story, the ending of the story, Brandon. But can you imagine that being you and how they United initially defended their actions by blaming it on him?
Yeah, absolutely, calling him belligerent and disruptive. But you see that. You see these companies of power. They always want to come back with something and try and smear your name with something. So I'm glad it worked out the way it worked out for him. And he's sitting there. The whole time I'm thinking, like, I'm sitting here watching, I'm thinking, money, 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 money.
Yeah, and I thought the same. Money! We had to finish that.
Yes.
Money! I have to be honest, though. I read a little bit into this. He ran from communism 44 years ago, and he was plucked out of the oceans by the U.S. Navy. He was giving back to the veterans.
Unbelievable.
And not only was he dragged, he was hit on the head by law enforcement that came on the plane, got a concussion, was knocked out, teeth came out, bloody. He woke up to a trauma team. This man didn't just go through a little bit. This man was assaulted. And the change is that law enforcement can no longer come on board. Well, it's a big change.
Not only is that a big change, Stephanie, get this, he then said, I'm glad it happened because it forced them to relook at their policies.
He's clearly a very selfless person.
Right.
And to be honest, it makes me feel sick. As a foreigner or an immigrant in your country, I just see so much violence here all the time, unnecessary acts of cruelty. Yesterday we were talking about a police officer that is maybe going to get a woman that's about to give birth, go to court and potentially face 60 days in jail because her toddler had to go to the bathroom. Today we're seeing about an incident where people have been dragged off a plane brutally and violently. Like, these positions of power are just constantly being abused here. It's really infuriating.
But you want to see more de-escalation. You're seeing
I just think it's crazy.
I do have to back up. Final thought here is that on airplanes, people do have a right to take things very seriously from what we've had. So I don't want to go against what happened with the law enforcement. That was their policy. I'm glad it's changed. But we do have to take threats like that seriously. Not that he was one, but that they have to take that very seriously.
But he didn't even do anything.
I know. I agree with you.
And I think he was discriminated against because he can't speak English very well, and no one could understand him. I think it's
You're not alone
outrageous.
in your thoughts, Stephanie. You are not alone. What do you do if you see someone you love about to make a huge mistake? That's a question a lot of us face at some point in our lives, of course. And it may be what one woman's family is asking. This is Lauren Janai. She's the co-founder of the very popular fitness program called CrossFit. And she sold her shares in the company for a reported $20 million. And now she's reportedly planning on marrying a man who is currently in jail on murder charges. That's according to Page 6. Lauren reconnected with her former high school classmate, who you see here on Facebook. The two fell in love. He was then arrested on first-degree murder charges in Florida and is currently locked up awaiting trial. Lauren tells Page 6 she's hoping to get married this summer and says that a prenup feels a little inappropriate. Many on social media believe she's making a huge mistake. So this has us asking, do you tell a friend or a family member if you believe they're making a big mistake, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
But how do you know she's making a mistake here? What if he's not convicted? I mean, what if she believes in him?
That would be a very small chance and a very anomaly.
Am I naive?
A little bit. I mean,
he's not convicted.
You might be right. But anyone up on a murder charge, there's got to be something. Look, I don't want to speak too soon. She could be fine and he could be fine. I think you need to step up. And as Erica Cobb always told me, say it once and then drop it. Don't say it again.
Absolutely.
So you got to do a prenup.
You have.
What if you're in love?
She has to do I feel as though she has to do a prenup. But like you said, she may be in love. That's her life. But when you try and tell someone something, when they get defensive, that means they already know how you feel. And if someone continues to make the same mistake, it's not a mistake anymore. It's
but why do we got to call it a mistake if somebody does not believe in a prenup? Why do you got to call it a mistake?
Because if he gets convicted, she's never going to see him. She's never going to be able to have any. You can't have kids.
If he's not convicted, he's going to take half the money. I pretty much guarantee that much. He's not seen her for years and years and years, and now he's miraculously in love that she's got £20 million for half a company which she didn't co-found. Her partner at the time did. Let's be honest. I mean, come on, a woman who's not going to sign a prenup and going off with a potential murderer. Wise choice, darling. Wise choice.
I like how I'm the only one defending her.
I know. You did a good job.
Crazy.
DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, the hottest spring fashions for every kind of body. You'll want to see this before you go shopping. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, could you forgive her for that college admission scandal? We're going to share your comments about that live. Coming up next.
Hi, DBL Nation. Welcome to Tuesday. My name's Kelly Schubert, and I'm here with the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news that's happening on my tweet deck right now, but not much is going on. So let's go to the desk and see what's going on with them. Hey, Brandon, what's up?
What is going on? What are we doing? Are you just going to leave?
When that's on,
That's Bert, our executive producer.
What do we want to talk about?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Let's go back to the Felicity Huffman thing, because we'll be talking about it on our fifth host as well. I just look at it as you have to throw the book in this situation.
I totally agree.
You have to throw the book. There are so many eyes and ears on this. There are so many people who've come from nothing and have made it. There's so many people who've had to work, scoop ice cream, who've had to have 3-4 jobs during college.
But you're speaking using common sense.
Okay, a judge should have common sense.
But the other thing is, do you rate a violent crime with more sentencing than you do a non-violent crime?
I know people who have gone to jail with just possession of maybe like an ounce of marijuana or something, and have gone to jail, and that's a felony charge on them. These people schemed a system. They kept. That's how the rich stay rich. This is how you do these things, that you scheme a system. And now you're going to scheme.
So how much do you want to see her have? If she gets up to, minimum 2 years if she doesn't have a plea deal.
I want to see her at least do a year. For her, with that 15K, she was only 15K. Let her off, donate some money to some charities.
You're saying let Felicity Huffman up, but Lori Loughlin,
you got to do some time.
So if you guys don't know, in federal, it's interesting. If you do in federal prison, if you are sentenced to a year, anything under a year, you have to serve the full time. If you're sentenced to anything more than a year, it's 85 to about 87% of the time. So if she was sentenced to a year, she'd see that full year out. So I agree with you. I just worry our expectations are going to be too high. And
They are, because it's elitism. They all stay together. Hey, we're all in the same country club. We're all doing the same things together. That's, we'll get you off. Donate to my charity. But and it's sickening, because, like I said, a guy like Nipsey Hussle, or people who come from nothing and absolutely rise in entrepreneurship and do great things in the community. They weren't able for this.
I hear you. I agree with you completely. I agree. I don't think they will, but I agree.
I said slap.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host. When we talk about what you're talking about, it's probably pretty awkward at Felicity Huffman's house these days. She pled guilty yesterday to charges stemming from the college admission scandal. Felicity seems remorseful, issuing a statement that said, quote, "In my misguided and profoundly wrong way, I have betrayed my daughter." So DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you be able to forgive your mom, and how?
Why'd you do it, Mom? All right, let's get to these comments out. Carl from Facebook says, I don't come from money, so I wouldn't be able to forgive my mom until I was able to outlive the scandal. Hey, I agree with you, Carl. Well, you know, I bounced around from high school, to school with my dad as a college football coach, and he told me, son, if you want to play Division I football, I'll allow you to go to a postgraduate school, but you're going to have to outwork people to get that scholarship. I did, went to UMass, left second all the time in receptions, touchdowns.
Wow. You know what happened? Your parents believed in you.
Yeah, he absolutely believed in me. He said, if you want it, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, yeah, you're basically, by being fraudulent, you're telling your children you don't believe in them, and that's sad.
Lana from Facebook says, I love my mum. She gave me life, and sometimes mothers don't always make the best decisions when looking out for their families. I'd forgive her. You know what? I would forgive my mum too, 100%. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. She clearly was trying to help her daughter. It obviously was in the wrong way, but I think we can all learn from this and just do better.
Well said. Anne-Marie from Facebook says, although I'm extremely close with my mom, it might take me a while to forgive her. I'm becoming a college professor, and this would have ruined my entire career.
Wow.
Yeah, I really strongly agree with Steph here, because I'm someone that's learning about my mistakes right now and learning from them, and you're absolutely right. To err is human, and to forgive is divine. And at some point, after you've let bygones be bygones and you've worked through it, I think there's got to be love there, because we all make terrible mistakes.
Yes,
No one is perfect.
No one is. Nope. Martin from Facebook says, I believe in forgiveness, especially when the person is family and they are sincere. I 1000% agree with you. I would forgive my mom, my family member, instantaneously. I would hope to see them act like Felicity Huffman is doing.
Yeah.
I think Felicity Huffman can be a great example of, when you do mess up, how do you pick yourself up and how do you do better? So if anything, maybe she'll gain more respect from her mom from learning from her mistakes. And I really hope that that's the case in all the scenarios. I don't know how it's playing out with Lori Loughlin.
Doesn't seem to be playing this.
But you know what? It's easier for Felicity Huffman's daughter to forgive her than Lori Loughlin's daughter. Olivia Jade, I would be absolutely upset. You could have took that money and we could have put it into my business. Yeah. Look at what I was doing with Sephora makeup. Look at my YouTube subscribers. But Felicity Huffman, the 15K, it's a little bit easier to forgive.
One is more egregious than the other.
Yes.
That's true. Well, thank you for writing in. We love hearing what you have to say. Coming up on DBL, lots of adorable new spring fashions, but which ones will look best on you? We're going to take you shopping to find the best looks for every kind of body. That's coming up next.
So I wanted to talk about my earrings. They are teardrop gold and they're sparkly, and I love everything sparkly, and I wanted my dress, my bridesmaid's dresses at my wedding to be gold sparkles, and my dad says only if they came from Skankville.
I was only half listening, and I tuned in when you said a word I don't think you're allowed to say.
Anywho, we're going to read some comments. First break went incredibly well. Wowza. Fifth Host, you can always forgive, but you can never forget. You would forgive, Kath.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think it's exactly what Steph said.
Yeah, Steph said it perfectly.
Yeah, Steph said it perfectly, that she did it out of the... She thought she was doing the right thing for her kid.
We've all made terrible mistakes.
But I agree. Like, this shows that they did not believe in their kids. It's sad. It really is.
Did you watch Olivia Jade?
Yeah.
Sorry. She was like,
okay,
I don't really care for school.
I get it,
really?
but, like, she also was making money doing something, so she just should have, like, let
I
her
have
go
no
on her
respect
way.
for anyone that doesn't respect education. I have a real hard line on this.
Fair.
Very hard line. But
she's young, though, but she's young. Her mom should have been there helping her, not... Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Then teach her properly.
I have a question.
Come on,
and Becky.
What type of, when you say that doesn't respect education, like 30 seconds. Algebra and all those sort of things, like you have to respect stuff that you're never going to use.
No, but the university that you got into and then another student didn't. She said, I don't even want to go to school.
But that's a good point, too, though. That's a good point, too, though, Brandon. See you later, guys.
I'm not
Friendship.
cool. I'm not.
Welcome back to DBL. Our co-host, Jeff Schroeder's wife, Jordan, has been very open about how hard it is to find clothes that fit her body correctly after having their second baby, Layton. That's why we sent her to Denver Darling Boutique here in Denver to find some fun spring styles that flatter her and every body type. Check it out.
Hey, Abby, I'm so happy you're here. I need your help. I've been living in these yoga pants, and I want to look cute for spring, and I want to look cute for date nights. Get me out of my yoga stuff.
All right, I've got the perfect stuff for you. Okay, this is the first look. I love it. I picked this because you were looking for something for all body types and ages, and
to hide my stomach area because I have a little pooch because I had the baby.
And polka dots are so back for spring.
It hides everything, and I also love that it covers my legs too,
beautiful.
And I can wear it with wedges, and the pockets are my jam.
Here's your second look. I think this is a really great, like, updated athleisure, like, great update to your leggings.
I love it because it's comfortable. I feel like I can move in it with the boys. I can wear my tennis shoes with it. I feel like I could dress it up, and you know, I've told you this bottom area really bothers me, and I don't feel self-conscious in it.
Well, and don't you think it'd be great for the plane? Like, you can just throw on your tennis shoes, or you could dress it up, maybe with a leather jacket.
Okay.
Try this one on.
Oh, I love leather
Maybe
jackets.
just throw it over your shoulders. Layering for spring is huge.
Yes, because the weather here in Denver, it's hot and then it's cold, but this would be a great date night outfit for me.
It just adds another element and then dresses up.
I love it. Thank you, Abby. I feel pretty.
What do you think of this look?
I love it because I always go with navy blue, black, neutral colors, and this actually is a pop of color.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun, like, bright dress that's good for a cocktail party, and a nice, like, shift that's good for, like, all kinds of body types, especially a new mom.
Yes, and it's not, I like that it's loose here, and it's not super hugging around here or up top. It feels good.
This is a great dress for women of all ages that might, like, be uncomfortable with any kind of body issues.
You know I'll be back.
See you soon.
Bye.
I love this. First of all, love Jordan, but I think it's so important to be able to dress for the body that you have, especially after having a baby.
Yeah, I think so too. And I have not had a baby, but I still have a little bit of a pooch I'm trying to get rid of. It's called the baby burrito. But I would say, I need the Chipotle. But I will say that shift dresses like that last one for summer to die for. As you know, you're the fashionista.
Well, I think Jordan as well is the perfect person for this because she's had 2 baby boys and she's working really hard on her body and getting back in shape. So she knows better than anyone how it feels and how your body changes and how to adapt to that because, I mean, it is a big change.
Yeah. It's a big change. Yep. Your uterus, did you know this? Your uterus grows from a pear to a watermelon.
Get a close-up of it.
Can you believe that? A pear to a watermelon. Is that insane?
I know, right?
In just 10 months.
God bless you women.
I know.
God bless you.
We are superheroes.
Yes,
we are. And then it returns. All right, we will be right back. You're welcome.
Promotional consent.
Welcome to Double Jump. Today we're reviewing Shazam. I'm Abby and
I'm Alex.
And we are going to be telling you our thoughts, which are very different. So why don't you take it away?
So for me, this movie was not a home run. It wasn't really a run at all. It was something I sat through.
Whoa.
I know, it's pretty rough. It is a nice change of pace from what we're used to seeing in terms of tone and quality. For me, you know, what made it not a home run was that the story wasn't great. They tried to build some backstory for some of the characters, and I feel like they just didn't develop it enough for me.
Oh, really?
I know, yeah.
That was like one of my favorite parts.
What?
The backstory. That like really brought me in.
I feel like they didn't try. They thought about it, and then they just gave up halfway through.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, the parents bit has been done before.
Yeah, I do think
we'll give you that.
For a younger audience, though, this has a really good appeal. It does have, like, there's some really goofy jokes that land. There's some really, like, oh, I'm a kid jokes that are really great. And so for that, like, I enjoyed that part. It was fun.
Wow.
I know.
Harsh review.
Yeah, no, not great.
Okay, so I had a totally different opinion. I loved seeing this movie, but I don't know if my expectations might have been a little bit different. Like, I don't know if maybe it got hyped up a little more for you.
I don't know if it was the hype. I just thought that there was going to be more story behind it, especially like after the first 5-10 minutes of, you know, the first couple scenes. I was like, oh, this is the tone the movie's gonna take. We're really gonna get into this. And then we just didn't. It just didn't go where, you know, I wanted it to go.
Oh my God, okay, so it went totally the way I wanted it to go. I thought it was funny. I liked the backstory. I got really like invested in those characters, but I also like am very easy to please. I don't know.
I think I'm just very difficult to please.
I really liked it until there was one part towards the end where I was like, come on, really? Which you guys will know when you see.
I'm sure I agree with you.
My review is that you should go see it in theaters because I think some of the action and that kind of stuff is worth it to see on the big screen.
You know, I'm actually gonna strangely agree with you just because I was like one of 2 people in the entire theater who like wasn't digging it. So you know what? Go see it in theaters. Even if you don't like it, everyone else's happiness is gonna make you happier.
Yeah, take your kids this weekend. It's a great one to see with them, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments.
Yes, we do. And this is all about, of course, the basketball sports game. Isn't that what they call it? Kyle Baxter said,
sports game.
Virginia were on fire. They totally deserve that win.
Wahoo,
Brandy Sprung, we got to give a round of applause. She won her bracket. $55. And Kimberly Matusek, this is going around that people are calling out Ted Cruz on Twitter for jinxing the game.
Oh, poor Ted Cruz. And I don't usually say that.
No, you don't.
We'll see you same time, same place. Bye, guys. Tomorrow.
Never have said that.